Upstairs. Jason and Alicia here with you to kick off your Wednesday. Thank you for joining us here at Sunrise.
Yes, let's get out to John. Are you doing better today, buddy?
Yeah.
I feel great.
How's it going?
I feel great. You know, it was fool me twice, shame on me, fool me three times. You're a Vikings fan. I don't know. I just made that up. I think it's genius, though. Write it down. I trademarked that. John Ziegler. All right, it's cold out here, but it's -1. That's an improvement. It was -9. That's where we had temperatures yesterday. So we've improved 8 degrees. Now this is maybe a little fool's gold here, but it's real. A 24-hour temperature change. We are way warmer in western Minnesota. We're 8 degrees warmer here in the Twin Cities, and that puts us at 25 below in St. Cloud. How is that real? Come on, do better. See, Minnesota, come on. 11 to 25 below. So a cold start. We'll warm things up this afternoon, and I'm going to use the word warm. 25, 26, we're going above average. We're not going to break freezing today, but we're going to get out of the negatives by noon. That'll be the first time above zero since Monday. It's not hard to actually impress us here. So by the afternoon, it looks really nice. We are going to track a little light snow actually now on the front this afternoon in my full forecast. Cece, how do the roads look?
Good morning. Well, I want to show you this if you're just joining us. There's a crash in Edina, Highway 100 southbound. This is near 66th Street. I've kind of been talking about this for over 30 minutes. Fire crews just got on scene just a few minutes ago, and it looks like they're cleaning up a spill of some sort. Also, a tow truck just got there a couple of minutes ago. So I'm going to keep my eye on this, let you know when it clears. I did see one fire truck leave, so I'm assuming things are moving along. As far as how this is going to affect your commute, the left 2 lanes are closed. They're blocked, so you have to use the right lane, kind of even the right shoulder area. But as you see from this wider view, I'm not seeing a huge backup yet where I have to tell you to change your route. You can still take this way. It'll just be a little slower as you head toward 494 in this area over the next 20-30 minutes. I'm also seeing maybe a few other crashes across the metro, so I'll have more on that when I see you after 6:15.
All right, thanks for the reminder, Cece. Appreciate it. Before we do get to our top story, an important heads up. If you do have students in the Fridley School District, in the last 12 hours, the district announced it would be canceling all classes and school activities for today. The decision came after a reported threat to school safety. It's unclear what the threat was, but we, of course, will update the story when we learn more.
We're also following developing news out of Northeast Minneapolis this morning. Last night around 9, firefighters were called to the 19th Avenue area. This is new video of that scene that our photographer captured. So we're not exactly sure what happened out there, but we have reached out to Minneapolis Fire. We'll bring you the latest as soon as we learn more.
Now to the drama. A lot of drama unfolding at the state capitol for the second day of the legislative session.
Yeah, House Democrats say it's likely several petitions will be filed today after Republicans started business without them. A lot to unpack here. Michelle Beck is live at the state capitol with more on what happened. Good morning, Michelle.
Yeah, good morning to you, Jason, Alicia. For the second day in a row, Republicans will try to get some regular business done, but it may or may not be legal. We'll talk about a wild start to the legislative session less than 24 hours ago. Democrats were a no-show to block Republicans from opening the House with a temporary majority, since the GOP is 1 seat short to do so, according to the Secretary of State. That's why Steve Simon, stepped in to preside, only to be ousted by House Republicans, who then moved to appoint their own speaker and move on with business.
There is no quorum as required by the Constitution of the state of Minnesota.
Mr.
The
Secretary.
House may not conduct any further business, and the House of Representatives
Mr.
is
Secretary,
adjourned.
I move to appeal the ruling of no quorum under Mason's 504 paragraph 5 and request a roll call. The Secretary of State is not a member of the legislative branch and has no constitutional authority over the House of Representatives.
Yeah, so the Secretary of State released a statement saying that the GOP had no legal authority to conduct the kind of business that we saw yesterday. House Democrats saying something similar, that all this was an illegal sham, in their words. Well, coming up in the next half hour, we'll talk more about how courts could get involved. Jason, Alicia.
All right, Michelle Beck reporting from the Capitol this morning. Thank you. This morning, the results are in from a special primary to fill a vacancy in the state Senate. On the Republican side, Abigail Walters came out on top with 72% of the vote. And in the race among 7 Democrats, DFL-backed Doran Clark taking the win with 38% of the votes. They both advanced to the special election in 2 weeks.
A sense of justice this morning for the 2 Burnsville police officers and firefighter-paramedic killed responding to a domestic incident nearly a year ago. The woman charged with buying the guns used in the shooting pleading guilty in federal court. 36-year-old Ashley Deardahl admitted to buying AR-15 gun parts her boyfriend, Shannon Gooden, later used to ambush first responders. Prosecutors say Gooden could not legally have guns, and Deardahl knew that.
Very much appreciate that Ms. Deardahl is taking responsibility for her portion of this. The hard part is we can't get back what we really want. We can't get back our 3 colleagues that are important to us and the families. So it's hard.
Deardahl will be sentenced at a separate hearing. She's facing about 3 years in prison.
Well, right now, Southern California is bracing for extremely critical fire conditions caused by a new period of Santa Ana winds, similar winds to what the area saw when the deadly wildfires exploded last week. Maribel Gonzalez joins us from Altadena with the latest developments.
Officials asking people to remain vigilant as we are expecting the winds to pick back up in the overnight hours, some of those reaching up to 60 miles per hour. This as more than 80,000 people remain under those evacuation orders, including here in the Altadena area where people are still not able to return home. This Altadena street highlights the seemingly randomness of the paths of destruction. One house remains intact, while neighboring homes are reduced to rubble and ash. FEMA assistance is now available for the thousands of people who've lost so much. While the cause of these fires remains under investigation, with multiple agencies looking for answers, we do know that the Palisades fire started within 300 yards of a previous blaze on New Year's Day. Reporting in Altadena, California, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
The fire crews are working to contain 4 active wildfires as well as hotspots. The Palisades and Eaton fires still less than 40% contained and have burned nearly 40,000 acres.
All right, another big story we are following this morning. The Supreme Court ruling on whether TikTok can be banned in the U.S. could come out as soon as today.
So if that happens, there's only days left before it disappears from app stores. Let's bring in Audrey Russo right now. And Audrey, you've been looking into the impact of a potential ban. What can you tell us about it?
Well, Jason, Alicia, it's got to feel like a little bit of a countdown for the third of the country who regularly uses TikTok. The Supreme Court heard oral arguments last week, and court watchers suspect the justices will uphold the TikTok ban that is set to go into effect on January 19th. Now, if that ban is upheld, the app won't disappear from your phone if it's already downloaded. But ByteDance, the Chinese tech company that owns TikTok, won't be able to issue updates, and that could make it sluggish and hard to use. TikTok also likely won't be accessible from a U.S. internet browser without a VPN. And also, Jason, as you mentioned, expect it to disappear from app stores. Now, as for users' data, that goldmine of sensitive information that U.S. officials are worried about falling into adversarial hands, well, it's unclear if those who already have the app will be able to access their own data after Sunday.
Either creators' data is gone, or it's kind of like hitting a pause button to see if there are any additional arguments or actions that TikTok is willing to take in order to prevent all of this from happening.
So if people aren't giving data like their location, their contacts, their camera rolls to TikTok, well, where are they going to go? I'll break down the apps that are skyrocketing in popularity this morning. I'll have that information coming for you in about 30 minutes.